Azure Gleam. To war. It is the end of 1181. 2 years have passed since the Officers' Academy closed its doors. After ascending the throne, Dimitri labors to bring peace to the Holy Kingdom of Faerghus. With Edelgard ruling as the Emperor of Adrestia and Claude leading the Leicester Alliance, the three erstwhile schoolmates strike out as the next generation of leaders. A new era is dawning in Fodlan, and much teeters at the brink of great change. The first tremors of a major upheaval rock the land as Edelgard declares war on the Central Church.
Pardon my lateness, Your Majesty.
You needn't worry, Felix. I know your duties are many. Though, I'm afraid we could not wait for you to begin the discussion.
This is about the Empire's declaration of war against the Central Church, yes?
Indeed. As you're aware, we have already begun accepting refugees from Garreg Mach. But a few days ago, I received a confidential request from Seteth, asking us to protect the higher-ranking members of the Church, including Lady Rhea herself. Of course, we'd only meet this eventuality were Garreg Mach to fall. As it stands, we find ourselves quite literally stuck between the Empire and the Church. I'm not sure how much longer we can remain neutral.
If I might, Your Majesty, troubling as it may be, I believe it prudent for us to reject this proposal from the Church outright. Offering them shelter will only serve to provoke an invasion from the Empire. This matter of the Southern Church concerns me as well, but I believe we have more important matters to be fussing over at the moment.
Your counsel is much appreciated, Viscount Elidor, but I assure you, things are not as cut and dry as you make them out to be. The mandate granted to the King of Faerghus and all the lords who serve under him is given legitimacy only by the grace of the Church. Are we to renounce the very heart of this kingdom simply because we shudder at the thought of invasion? War will always come at one point or another, and some degree of suffering is purely inevitable. You know this as well as I, Viscount.
You dare speak of suffering, do you? When the blaze of war will not scorch your lands in the north as it does ours?
I would normally agree that those of us from the Northern Territory should hold less sway in this discussion. But if Garreg Mach were to fall, the war fronts would not halt in the west. Your Majesty, what of House Rowe or Galatea, or the others in the south?
Not a word from Count Rowe as it stands, but I did receive a missive from Count Galatea. It read, "My people are not fools enough to rejoice in the surrender of their territories to invaders. There is no morality in turning our backs on the institution at the very foundation of our lives. We must support the Church as they have supported us."
Your Majesty, we owe a great debt to the Central Church for their role in quelling the uprising 2 years ago. To not repay such generosity in kind would risk weakening the trust of your vassals.
And if that happens, we might find ourselves right back in the same mess as before. They lack the crest of Blaiddyd, but there's no small number of nobles who might crawl out of the woodwork claiming royal blood. The kingdom's already seen the turmoil and division such claimants can bring after the death of King Klaus.
But Duke Fraldarius, surely we are better served attempting to head off the very real and imminent war at hand, instead of debating hypothetical unrest.
I don't want my people to suffer the pain of conflict. But does anyone here really think the Empire will simply stop if we appease their every demand? Suppose we do let the Empire take the Archbishop. And suppose we accept this new Southern Church. Then what?
I imagine the Empire plans to install the Bishop of the Southern Church, Count Varley, in Lady Rhea's place. I fear I've heard nothing good concerning either the man himself or his teachings. They purport to be an arm of the Church of Seros. The Southern Church is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the Empire at large.
In other words, rejecting the Central Church in favor of this new Southern one would be no different from flat-out accepting imperial rule. It's hard to say just how they would treat our kingdom were such events to unfold. Though I imagine it would involve heavy taxation for the express purpose of bleeding Faerghus dry and filling the Imperial coffers.
Do you have something to add, Duke Fraldarius?
Not really, no. I was just wondering how long we were planning to continue this tedious charade. The question's simple. Do we hand over our kingdom and subject ourselves to Imperial rule or not?
I believe the Margrave has been quite clear as to what will happen if we give in to the Empire's demands. We've all been informed of the rapid reformation their region has undergone, many aspects of which I admire, I'm not ashamed to say. But an old, stubborn land like ours isn't suited for such tempestuous change. Radical new freedoms are not what the people of Faerghus need right now. They need stability, steady improvement in their daily lives, and real, lasting change can only come from a solid foundation.
Sounds like your Majesty has made up his mind then. Just say the word and we'll leap into action.
The Holy Kingdom of Faerghus will hereby offer asylum to the Church of Seros. Everyone, sharpen your blades and prepare for the battles ahead. Gustav, Dedu, make to ride at once. Our intentions must be made clear, not only to the Church and the Empire, but to Count Rowe as well.
Understood, Your Majesty.
Hey, did you hear? Sounds like we're gonna be going to war with the Empire. Yeah, ever since His Majesty ascended the throne, we've been fighting battle after battle through every corner of Faerghus, but I never thought we'd be going toe-to-toe with the actual Empire. I'd be nervous if it even felt real.
Yeah, it's not like I'm opposed to the war, but I have a weird feeling about this too.
You uneasy? I didn't even think that was possible. But I suppose you learn something new every day.
I can't help but wonder, though. What happens to Faerghus now? I feel like things have been steadily improving lately, but not everyone favors His Majesty as I do.
Yeah, I hear the grumbles too. But there's not a ruler in the world who doesn't have their fair share of critics, right? All I know is, we wouldn't be where we are now if not for him. I mean, look at me. Saddled with some mysterious power we don't know anything about, and he still chose to put his faith in me. It's only right I return the favor in kind. Oh, and speak of the devil.
Am I interrupting something?
No, of course not. Please, allow me to take my leave. Your Majesty, Commander.
So, you heard all that, huh?
More or less. I apologize for the interruption, but there's an urgent matter at hand.
Anything I can do to help?
There is. As you know, we've offered asylum to the Central Church in their efforts to flee the Empire. As such, we are to escort the Archbishop herself to the royal capital at once. I expect heavy pursuit from the Imperial forces, so I am assembling a team of those I trust most to assist in the mission. Of course, I'll be leading my own regiment into battle, but I was wondering if you'd be willing to accompany me.
Is that it? I'd be glad to. How are things looking at Garreg Mach while we're on the subject?
Grim. Neither the Knights of Seros nor the monastery ramparts are capable of holding off the Empire's massive military might. I dare say we have precious little time to waste. Prepare to deploy at once.
That reminds me.
How tiresome.
I've been waiting for you. How about this? There you have it. I implore you.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Oh, this'll take Oh. Another tool.
Some things you can't learn on your own.
How can... I'm getting...
I could...
I think I'm... Hey,
I'll be able to... Yeah. How can I bet?
The more...
Training with a friend is so much fun.
How can I best...
I'm getting...
Got to give this a
I think... Hey,
I'll be able to... How can I bet?
For hit.
Time to work you into shape.
I wonder if...
I will devote my...
I'll reach for...
Do you think it's... I can work. Will this help me grow?
I welcome it.
That felt good. Let's do it again.
Not bad.
Some things you can't learn on your own.
I can't.
I'm getting...
I could use...
I'm a bet.
Hey!
For it.
Fine enough. This...
I've grasped. I couldn't have done it without you.
I can't.
No.
Yes.
That felt good. Let's do it again.
Hey!
The more I'm capable...
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat. Can't wait to see how you do.
Welcome. Come back soon.
I carry a little of everything here. You've got an eye for quality, friend. You've got an eye for quality, friend. Hope to see you again soon.
Which battlefield are you headed to?
Cut them all down.
The fight starts now.
Let's go, everyone.
Victory will be ours. Together.
Wounds are severe. I have to fall back.
Retreat!
over here!
We shall see this through to the bitter end!
Looks like you got one tough fight on your hands.
This place won't be a problem anymore.
We're not losing to anyone!
This is just the beginning.
I wonder how long I'll have to train to catch up to you.
How can I face my comrades after this?
Don't mind if I
do. Each win brings us closer to our goal.
We've determined the Archbishop's course, Your Majesty. She makes for the Valley of Torment.
Then she's fleeing north, to Faerghus.
There is also, of course, a passage to Daphnal territory within the Alliance. And I surmise you are correct. She surely makes for the kingdom.
If Faerghus has chosen to side with the Central Church, it stands to reason they'll mobilize their forces to escort the Archbishop. If they do rendezvous with her and manage to retreat to the kingdom, our one chance will be lost.
Yes. We cannot let her slip through our grasp. I will see to it myself that we don't. Your Majesty, I will need a squadron well equipped for pursuit if I am to accomplish this task. One such as the Brigid Hunters, given our considerable losses during the suppression of Garreg Mach. A smaller unit would be preferable for this undertaking.
Petra's unit. Very well. Take anyone you think could prove useful to your efforts. If we can capture the Archbishop, the tides of this war will turn drastically in our favor.
Agreed, Your Majesty.
As for you, gather the others. We must discuss what to do about the kingdom.
Right away, Your Majesty.
Okay.
Come this way. Quite trouble. At your service.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
Yeah!
Indeed. You have my gratitude.
What?
Hunger is the true enemy.
Yeah.
Whoa, slow down.
I was doing no such thing. Would it kill you to show just a little tact for once?
Wow.
Well?
Hunger is the true enemy.
You made this.
Wow, this is so good.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
What a thoughtful gesture. Well, let's eat.
There are few things more extravagant than a home-cooked meal.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid.
Oh, thanks.
I'm ashamed to admit I've never been too fond of this, though I do appreciate that.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Not a fan of Faerghus cuisine? I think it's fine enough myself.
Come back whenever you're hungry.
Care to make yourself useful? We all must do our fair share. Care to make yourself useful?
I've got nothing to worry about with...
Why are they sending you to work, Your Majesty? This will make it a lot harder to slack off. Unless that's the whole point.
We all must do our fair share.
What is it? It's much appreciated.
Let's earn our keep. I'll do what I've gotta do. That's it.
Victory will be ours. Together.
Everyone, advance! Everyone, advance! What?
Soldiers, we can't gain any ground.
Retreat!
Still improving.
Great. Let's keep it up.
Retreat!
We can't let it end like this.
I do hope you'll make this fun for me.
We're not losing to anyone!
Time to get going. My accomplishments won't mean a thing if I'm not still standing when the battle's over.
Did you learn to fight like that in your mercenary days? Or have you always had it in you?
I'm dragging the others down.
Enemy down.
You're in peak form today.
No excuses. I just have to win.
Oh, too easy.
Don't mind if I do.
Not a bad spot.
We're done for. The rest is up to you. We're done for. The rest is up to you.
How can I face my comrades after this?
That wasn't so bad.
All would be lost if I were to die here.
My accomplishments won't mean a thing if I'm not still standing when the battle's over.
Did you learn to fight like that in your mercenary days? Or have you always had it in you?
Thanks for the help, everyone. We couldn't have done this without a group effort.
This
I've grown.
One step.
I won't let... Yeah.
I could use this.
This will help.
This way.
Please.
Allow me to let me know if I may be of further service.
Well?
The fight starts now.
Hurry, we can't let them fall.
We can still reverse our fortunes.
We need some help, and fast!
This place won't be a problem anymore. Too easy.
Great, let's keep it up.
Too easy.
Don't mind if I do.
We'll give it a go.
Right on.
It's no use. We can't gain any ground.
I'm unstoppable.
Great, let's keep it up.
I'm dragging the others down.
This place won't be a problem anymore. My accomplishments won't mean a thing if I'm not still standing when the battle's over.
Did you learn to fight like that in your mercenary days? Or have you always had it in you?
Right on. Don't mind if I do. The stronghold's ours!
You're in peak form today.
I'm dragging the others down.
It was a little iffy for a while there, but we made it just in time.
Thank you.
Time to work you into shape.
Fine enough. Got to give this a I'm a better... Hey!
I've grasped.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Will this make me... Will this make me... I'll reach for...
I love tech. Do you think it's a...
With proper training, you'll be unstoppable.
Care to make yourself useful? We all must do our fair share.
Hey, did you hear? We rounded up the last stragglers from House Kleiman.
Yeah, and brought destruction raining down on one of their villages in the process. Of course, it was partially their fault for mustering an army, but I can't believe His Majesty would allow such meaningless slaughter.
Something on your mind? If you object to their idle gossip, it would behoove you to speak up.
No, it's just... I don't really know what Dimitri was thinking either. It's almost like he's built a wall around himself, ever since the day he killed his uncle.
My apologies, but could I ask you to join Gustav in keeping an eye on things here for the next few days?
Sure. You going somewhere? Kinda surprised Dadu and Rodrigue aren't joining you.
The two of them recently departed for Dusker. They have their own duties to attend to.
Then why don't I join you? I've got more free time these days than I know what to do with.
Offering to work during your well-deserved time off is not as praiseworthy as you believe it to be.
You're one to talk.
I suppose you have a point. Very well. I'll take you up on your offer. The journey will not be a pleasant one, but your assistance will surely prove valuable.
I was wondering where we were going. This is the village that was wiped out during our recent battle. Hold on. You're not planning to bury the dead by yourself, are you? That's not really a job for a king.
Perhaps not. Yet a resting place is all I am capable of offering them now. Were it possible, I would not have let this village lose a single brave soul. I never intended to see them incinerated by the all-consuming flames of this war. But as the one who authorized our battle strategy, I alone am culpable for their deaths.
It's not like you made the decision lightly, though. You discussed it for hours with Rodrigue and the others.
Even so, no means can possibly excuse these ends. No amount of justification will bring back the lives that were lost here.
True. And no matter how hard you fight for a better outcome, there's no guarantee you'll actually achieve it.
No, I cannot shut my eyes to the cruelty my actions have wrought. Yet, if I do not claim this battle, and its aftermath to be just and proper, my soldiers will lose faith in me. How long must this horrible cycle continue?
Don't be like that, Dimitri. I'm sure people will understand if you just tell them the whole story.
There's no need for that. This burden is mine to bear, and mine alone.
You know, Felix, I've been thinking. Actually, never mind.
What? You can't say that and then not tell me. Come on, out with it.
Okay, it's just... Even though you never show it, I can tell you really care about Dimitri and the others. You all right there, Felix? There's no reason to get all choked up over it.
It's your fault for saying something so ridiculous.
Hey, you're the one who asked. But it's true, isn't it? I know I'm right.
And what proof do you have?
Well, for one, you move way better when you're fighting alongside them.
That's only because I've known them so long now I can predict their every move. The boar always rushes straight into enemy lines, so I have to be ready to cover him. Of course, few can survive one of his mad dashes. But I can't just leave him alone. The man doesn't give his own safety a second thought. We don't coordinate, though. I just stick around to make sure the coast is clear for him to run wild.
Huh. But when you're fighting with Ingrid, you're usually the one who ends up charging forward.
Yes, because her Pegasus is an easy target for enemy archers. It's better for me to dash ahead first and eliminate any potential threats. Not that she's incapable of dodging an arrow or two. But she loses sight of her surroundings in the heat of battle. If she advanced before I did, a cloud of arrows would be the end of her.
Uh-huh. So then why do you always get surrounded when you're fighting with Sylvain?
Because the braggart always insists on showing off. Though if nothing else, he does have the skill to fight his way out of any bind.
Sounds like that's not part of your strategy then. But you'd still never pull it off if you didn't trust each other.
It's all natural for a soldier.
Honestly, it's impressive how well you work with everyone. I should take a page or two out of your book and learn more about the people I fight with. Maybe having a better grasp on their personalities would help me coordinate our movements better.
Who knows? You're welcome to try, at least. If you've already got a good read on me, the others shouldn't be an issue. Anyway, we're done here. Talking to you is exhausting.
Well, if it isn't our mercenary friend. I trust you've adjusted to life in the kingdom by now.
Yeah, more or less. I've been here a few times before on the job, so it's not too big a shock. but I've never lived as far north as Ferdiad. There's still a bunch I need to get used to. Stuff like the wind blowing straight through you, or how it's always so stupidly cold, even inside, or how you can't go out after a blizzard. It snowed so much one night that I couldn't even open the door in the morning. Thought I was off to meet the goddess that day.
An amusing enough story when you tell it like that. But Faerghus winters are no joke. They're harsh, unforgiving beasts. Tell me, have you grown to despise the cold?
It's not so bad. I mean, sure, all the snow is really annoying. But it's also beautiful. You can't see lamplit streets covered in this stuff anywhere but here.
I thought the same when I was young. Though the more years I gain, the more frustrating it becomes. Nevertheless, this brutal tundra is the only home we have. Meaning there's nothing to do but adapt, persevere, and enjoy the lives we've built here.
Adapt? Like how the messengers ride Pegasi instead of horses during the winter?
Exactly. The sight of those majestic creatures soaring through the frost-ridden sky is one unique to Faerghus. No matter how much snow blankets the ground, our Pegasi quite literally rise to the occasion. When my son and his majesty were still just boys, they followed one off into the frigid mountains of all places. By the time I found them, they were but two shivering masses on the ground. For a moment, I thought my heart would never beat again.
So Felix has been getting into trouble ever since he was a kid, huh?
His penchant for danger is unchanged, yes. Though I fear his disposition has grown far sharper. The hardships of becoming Duke at his age are undoubtedly weighing upon his mind.
I don't know. I don't think you need to worry about him. He can take care of himself just fine.
A fair point. Perhaps it's time I let him spread his wings like the Pegasus he chased all those years ago. It seems the coming winter will bring more than just cold to Faerghus. The ravages of war approach on the same wind. Training in such conditions will be a struggle indeed, but we cannot afford to ignore the looming Srang threat either. Managing our territories through it all will not be an easy task. But I have faith we will adapt, persevere, and overcome. Just as we always have.
Next winter, huh? We'll just have to do whatever it takes to make sure the war's over by then.
What were you thinking? Sticking your nose into some soldier's fight? You have a lot of growing up to do if you're still throwing yourself in the middle of random brawls like that. Keep this up, and House Fraldarius' reputation will be rolling in the mud with you. Not to mention how it reflects poorly on His Majesty, considering he's the one who made you a duke.
I know all that.
Do you? Because you don't look like a man who's achieved some fantastic new enlightenment.
This is rich coming from you. I liked it better when you used to take the heat.
Are you kidding? You were always the one being scolded when we were kids.
Only because you were a half-wit who kept dragging me into your ludicrous schemes.
Was that how it was? Now, whatever you say. But tell me, what's got you swinging your fists around this time?
Nothing specific. I just couldn't back down after getting involved.
You really need to start being more careful. Look, you've even got a bruise going. Who knows what would happen to Faerghus if we lost you?
I won't say you'd be fine without me, but you do know I could fall in battle any day now, right?
Bite your tongue, Felix. Just think for 2 seconds. What would happen to Faerghus? And to His Majesty, if you died? He's got too much on his plate already, yet he insists on doing everything himself. War with the Empire, battles outside Fodlan, governing the kingdom, reforming the entire social structure of pretty much everything. If he didn't have you at his side, he'd fall flat on his face.
You speak as though you have no stake in this whatsoever. We're in the same situation. One of these days, you'll inherit the title of Margrave Gautier. Are you ready for that?
I know. Trust me, I am very well aware. Which is why I always act with the utmost integrity.
You're the complete opposite of integrity. Though I suppose you have been attempting to shake some of your old habits recently.
You know, it wouldn't kill you to pat me on the back every once in a while.
You're like a baby that just learned to walk. A pat on the back would only knock you over. You can try to make up for your past actions all you want, but that kind of thing isn't easily swept aside. The sooner you realize that, the better.
That tongue of yours is sharp as ever, I see. Never change, Felix.
I guess I was a touch reckless this time. As much as I hate to admit it. So I'll give you that much.
The scouts have returned, Your Majesty. They've located the Archbishop.
Excellent. We'll ride to them at once. For now, everything is going according to plan.
We're ready to ride when you are, Dimitri. Just give the word and we'll move out. Gotta say, it's gonna feel great to fight alongside all these familiar faces again.
You're right. I always feel much stronger when my friends are around.
Our time together at the Academy might have been short, but it still puts my mind at ease to be reunited with everyone.
I could hardly believe His Majesty reached out to me of all people. But I'm really glad he did.
I'm pleased to see you all here.
I always knew this day might come. I prepared myself as best I can, but I am still a bundle of nerves.
This will be a lot different from the fighting that's been going on the past 2 years. We'll need to really have each other's backs out there.
The point of no return is finally upon us, Your Majesty. I trust you've made your peace.
I have. The blood spilled today will be a worthy sacrifice if it means keeping the people of Faerghus, the people of our home, safe. If that is our cause, we have no reason to hesitate. Now move out! There you are, Lady Rhea. I am relieved to find you alive and well.
King Dimitri, you have my gratitude for coming to aid us in our time of need.
I fear we have no time for niceties, though. We must make our way out of the valley and return to Kingdom territory.
Nobody told me how sweaty I'd get here. Ugh, gross.
General lacks motivation, we may be able to persuade her to join our cause.
You are not beholden to the Empire. Why don't you join us instead? You have my word that no harm will come to you.
You've got a point. And I guess you did beat me fair and square. All right, lead away.
Your Majesty, Imperial forces are setting up a blockade at the stronghold ahead.
If they cut us off, we'll be forced toward the volcanic crater.
We cannot allow them to push us down a dangerous path. Let us charge forth and carve our way through.
This ridiculous charade won't stop us.
Hey, we did it! We should be able to move forward safely now.
You have my thanks. The goddess smiles upon your gallant deeds.
Getting away! Gotta stop them somehow!
Your Grace, Seth and Catherine are under attack by Imperial forces.
So I find myself cornered. Perhaps I misjudged the situation.
Persistent little guys, aren't you? Cut one down and another two just spring up in their place.
They must not be allowed to fall here. Please, King Dimitri, may I ask that you lend them your
aid? Too easy.
Not bad.
I'll do my best. I'm a little nervous about this.
I'll do what I can.
It's good to see you safe, Catherine. Please, let us join you. Gladly. This is all too much to handle on my own anyway. It's a good thing you came along when you did. And Lady Rhea's safe too. Good. Good.
Is Lady Rhea safe? Did she get away?
No. Cyril was covering the rear. You will never make it out. I shall not sacrifice his life for the sake of my own. Please, help me. Time to show how strong you've become.
Let's take it for ourselves!
We made it in time.
I appreciate the assistance. Come, lend me a hand.
If not for you, I would have surely perished. And the Archbishop appears to be unharmed. Have my gratitude.
We have to help Seth and Catherine escape.
Can't we block the lava flow with rocks or something?
Not saying it'll be easy, but it might be the best shot we've got.
I'll do what I can. We march.
True valor, Stacy. Lady Rhea will soon be clear of the valley thanks to you.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
My utmost gratitude for your efforts in rescuing Syl, and to the goddess for her divine protection.
We've done it! Hold fast, everyone! Our escape is only a short ways off!
Everyone, to arms! We fight to protect the Archbishop!
You will not be passing here. I will be capturing the Archbishop. An ambush. We have no choice but to fight our way through.
Looks like we've got backup. I expect they'll come in handy. That's the Princess of Bridget. After everything she's been through, she might be willing to join us. Assuming we can take her alive. This is no place for royalty to die. Not here. Not like this.
Yes. Out of the way! I am choosing life. I will be going with you peacefully. I'll take you all on!
Thanks for the help. I never would have made it out of there without you.
My apologies for the trouble. I do not wish to consider what would have happened had you not come along.
I can scarcely believe we arrived here whole and sound. You have my deepest gratitude. I've got you now!
If I cannot have the Archbishop, your heads will have to suffice.
Hubert, we have to defeat him, Your Majesty.
I've got you now!
I'm aware. Let us do so at once, and make with our retreat.
Fine. You may have your victory today. face Her Majesty after this.
This...
I need... One step...
This strength will...
I can't...
I'll use this...
Can't let...
No.
I think I'm getting...
Lady Rhea, Sedith, I'm relieved you both made it out unharmed. It appears we arrived just in time.
You have our utmost thanks for aiding in our retreat, Your Majesty. I can only apologize for the trouble we may have caused your outfit.
King Dimitri, I cannot express just how grateful I am to you and all the fine people of Faerghus.
The honor is mine. Your order provided me with immeasurable aid during my ascension to the throne. My citizens would have branded me a heathen had I not returned the favor.
And now it seems we are the ones who owe a debt. The Church shall provide whatever assistance it can to your efforts.
If you see it prudent, I have no objection to placing the Knights of our Order under Kingdom command.
Thank you both. While it pains me to qualify our hospitality, this kingdom is not a wealthy one, neither in goods nor provisions. I fear we may struggle to compensate your soldiers, or even to feed them.
You needn't trouble yourself with such concerns. Your generous offer of shelter will be more than enough.
Very well. We've lingered here long enough. Let us make for Ferdiad. There's much to discuss. The Church, the Kingdom, and the battles to come.
"2 years ago? I never would have imagined we'd be fighting a war like this.
I'm with you there, but now that we are, you found yourself in a rather favorable situation, no?
How do you mean?
When a war breaks out, every mercenary in the land starts crawling out of the woodwork. And those associates you happen to be working with should be tough enough to take on you-know-who.
Gerald's mercenaries. Yeah, good point.
And then you can give them their just desserts or die trying.
Could have done without that last part. Thanks.
Relax, relax. You know I'm on your side. Our destinies are forever intertwined.
In that case, let's assume Cornelia has hidden herself somewhere in the Western Territories.
If I had to guess, I'd say either Viscount Mateus or Viscount Gideon have taken her in. All the same, we can't exactly go around unseating every vassal we suspect of being disloyal.
Right. This is no simple matter, but at least we have a firmer grasp on the situation now than we did 2 years ago. To do, send word to House Perderi. We'll need soldiers on their land if we hope to keep the enemy at bay.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Viscount Mateus' son is here with us, while Viscount Gideon's daughter is off serving as a knight in Galatia. Under the present circumstances, we only have so many soldiers to spare on domestic matters. It seems we'll have to resort to any means necessary. In which case, I will bear the weight of the kingdom's sins. If slaughtering 100 foes means bringing salvation to 1,000 of our own, I will do it.
As you wish, Your Majesty. And if I may, try not to torment yourself so much.
Ah, how far our proud king has fallen. You sounded utterly vicious just now.
What do you want, Felix?
Oh, not much. I just thought catching a glimpse of your haggard face might put a smile on mine. I knew that playing the part of a cool-headed leader would be too much for you. But all this scheming, this calculation, doesn't suit you. Why don't you just give it a rest already?
You think too highly of me. This is who I am, Felix. I've never been anything more than a bloody demon on the path of revenge. I stand here today to lift the burdens of all who perished before me. To see that those who bear guilt for their deaths are held accountable. I will expose whoever I must. Slay whoever I must to see my task through to the end. And if it affects the safety of my people, then that's all the more reason to strike now.
And here I thought you were finally starting to pull yourself together.
I snuffed out my uncle's life with my own two hands. As king and as general, I've killed countless more. I looked on as nearly everyone I held dear perished. I am the one who must take responsibility for their deaths. So rest easy, Felix. The weight of my atonement will not fall on your shoulders.
No point in trying to reason with a boar. Enough of that, though. The city seems especially spirited today. Is something going on?
Ah, yes. Lady Rhea and the others from the church are making an excursion to the capital. I suggest you join in on the festivities before you go. It does the heart good to see our people smile.
Everyone here? Then let's get right into it. We have to figure out exactly where we stand in this war. As you all know, the Empire has taken the Great Bridge of Myrddin. The Imperial Army now occupies what was formerly House Phlegethon territory. House Gloucester has surrendered to them as well.
Doubtless an agonizing decision on my father's part.
House Ordelia, to the east of the bridge, has also vowed not to take up arms against the Empire.
We had precious little in the way of arms in the first place. You have my deepest apologies.
You don't have to apologize, Lysithea. Count Ordelia did what anyone would have done.
And now Lawrence and Lysithea can't even go back home.
That's not all. After the battle, the Imperial Army crossed Gloucester territory and attacked Garreg Mach. Rhea and the rest of the Central Church have apparently fled to the Kingdom for sanctuary.
Then I suppose none of us will be able to visit our old school anytime soon.
I hope no one from the church was hurt.
Now that the monastery has fallen, the front lines are rapidly expanding north. It won't be long before Deirdre is within their reach. And if our capital falls, the Alliance goes with it. We have to stop them there, no matter the cost.
That all sounds well and good. But how large of an army will you even be able to raise at this point?
I don't think House Edmund will be able to send more troops. I'm sorry.
Which means House Goneril is the last of the 5 great lords upon whom we can rely.
I'm not so sure the combined forces of Houses Regan and Goneril will be enough to hold off the whole Empire.
We'll just have to work with what we've got. And let's not forget the hero of Daphne.
But we can't expect much from her in terms of sheer numbers. Any chance the Kingdom could send troops?
I doubt they'll have any to spare. They've just started engaging the Empire themselves over in the west of Faerghus. And besides, I'm not sure how much we can really trust them. I still have no idea what's going on in Dimitri's head. I might just have a plan, though. For now, all I can ask is that you fight, and fight with every last thing you've got.
You can always count on me. And my muscles.
Thanks, Raphael. That unfounded confidence of yours is like music to my ears.
We received a message from Hubert, Your Majesty. They failed to capture Archbishop Rhea. It seems she and her followers have been taken in by the Kingdom Army. They likely make for Ferdiad as we speak.
So it goes. If Hubert himself couldn't succeed in the task, there's little chance anyone else could.
There is more as well. Petra was taken by the enemy. She is apparently still alive, for better or for worse. I fear the Kingdom may try to use her to make an ally of Bridget.
Yes, it's likely she won't be coming back. And our stance towards Bridget will require some reconsideration.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Now then, we mustn't dwell on what's done. Our only choice is to look to the future. It seems an all-out war with the kingdom is nigh unavoidable at this point. Thankfully, I expect Count Rowe to join our cause. Having a hold on Aryan Road will surely prove advantageous as the war creeps on. So we stick to the plan. Through Count Rowe, we should be able to ingratiate ourselves to the other lords of the Western Kingdom.
Urgent report, Your Majesty. An army has been mustered at Castle Gaspar in Rowe territory. Lenato, the local lord, has vowed to find and eliminate Archbishop Rhea. He's mobilizing the army northward. Count Rowe's tacit approval of these actions has surely brought his allegiance to the Empire to light.
I can only assume this wasn't part of the plan.
It's just one thing after another. Dispatch any nearby units to the area at once. Any lords willing to sever ties with the kingdom are too valuable for us to risk losing.